Hello? Hello? Make sure this is muted. Yep. How's it going? Wait. Does it come through? There we go. Hi, I'm Maya. Welcome. This is how you know I'm Maya, because I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. Oh, we're going to mute that. I can mute that later. Welcome to Show and Tell. Baxter, thanks so much for the tier 3 for 16 months. Thank you so much. Can't deny that. You look different today, Queen. Thanks. Well, I'm going to give you a quick update. You're so sorry for your posts. It's fine. There are a lot of posts. There's 80-something posts today. It's a lot. I got to read fast. I'm very tired because I was up here at 4 a.m. with Kayla because there was a storm. And we were like, what are the chickens doing? And we were worried about Betty. And we're a little shy after the last crazy storm. So not a lot of sleep tonight. So Matt, thank you so much for 38 months. Huge. Chickens are fine. Everybody's fine. All is good. Neon for the 41 months. Have we been around that long? That is crazy. How's your back from the hail? So I guess it was 2 days ago. We had the huge hailstorm here. And the chickens were outside, so I had to put them inside. So I put a hard hat on and ran around putting animals inside and like Betty inside and like checking on everything. It was like super scary. And I was getting hit with golf ball size hail on my back, and it's like, it feels like she's being shot with a paintball gun all the freaking time. And I had like red marks everywhere, no bruises. So I will say it was a fun time. It was a great time. For me, it was, I love it. Staying hard, life's hard. I'm harder. Hail can't get me down. Up at 4 a.m. No problem. Only 4 hours of sleep. I got this. I've got Red Bull. I've got coffee. We're good to go. So, yeah. So, no, everything's good. The parrots are moved up top. We're redoing the parrot enclosure. Thankfully, because that storm blew out 2 plexi panels. And thank God, the parrots weren't in there. But after every storm, where you do enclosure checks, make sure everything's fine. So make sure no trees are down or anything. So if you guys are on cams and you want to do enclosure checks and look for trees and stuff like that, let us know. So at least the plexi is clear now. True. We got a lot of crazy things coming with the parrot enclosure. I think, Lucas, we're going to stream it tomorrow, right? The parrot? Yeah, we're going to stream it tomorrow. Ripping the roof off. So it'll be a good time. Kilo enjoying the trees. We have fenced off one tree. We got to fence off another tree. And we just cleaned the pond yesterday. It was beautiful. And then now it's back to being dirty, which really sucks. How Julia's foot doing? I don't know. Probably fine though. She's tough. Played flag football with her, and she's a tough one. She's like trucks people. It's a good time. So we were also supposed to have solar done already, but hit a big road bump right as they're about to install it. So that's great. So that's on a delay right now. But we've got some solutions to it. It's just gonna be a little bit longer for solar. So nothing at Alveus is ever easy. It's just Texas, this ground, everything about it. So anyway, what's the road bump? I don't have a clear answer yet on everything, so I'm not going to talk about it yet until it's all resolved, because it's changed. Like 2 days ago, it changed like every 10 minutes. So, got to roll the punches. Thanks, Colton. Yeah. So, that's kind of the updates there. But I would like to get into the show and tell. Because I've got a little bit of energy and some caffeine in me. So let's keep going. So I don't need a Red Bull, but probably by like post number 60, I'll need a Red Bull. Connor, have you ever asked Linus LTT to collab on some tech projects? No, would love to once I get everything done. It's not up to LTT standard. Like it's pretty fried right now. By that I mean like it's just there's so much like stuff done at like 50% or 90%. I gotta get the fiber pulled. I gotta get the server rack done. Sparky Nick is here. over here hanging out. He's gonna put the mini split in the laundry room today, and he said it's only gonna take him an hour. He said he promised to have it done in 1 hour. That's for sure. So it's all coming along, and then once we get to a good point, I'll be realistically probably in 6 months to a year. Then I would love for LTT to come out and do some really cool stuff. I have some ideas for that in the future, but we'll see. Anyway, let's do some show and tell. I might need a Red Bull here, but let's get into it. We've got almost 19,000 hours given. We're looking for 21,600 hours. Amazing. Really come along. Community map. That's a lot. That's a lot of people posting from all around the world. That's awesome. Courtney's summer job. This summer I'm working. Let me do full screen. Open full screen. I think we can see everything. Yeah. Did I miss a sub? Oh no, we got the new interactions. Nice. I got this new. This summer I'm working outside a bunch. I love seeing so many birds and buggies while I work. It really makes it worth it. I always try and get pictures if I can. So enjoy. What we got here? Flock of cedar waxwings. Yeah, look at them. Very nice. Morning cloak. Oh yeah, nice. Swallowtail. Love it. Bumblebee in the roses. Nice. Red Admiral. Little jumper. Leafcutter bee. I'm not sure what this guy is. That's cool though. Whoa. Fledgling robin. Oh, nice. Good shot. I thought it was a big bird for a second. Very nice. Thank you so much, Courtney. New UK zoo standards. I saw this. Strange Cyan. Actually, like, were you the one that apologized about your post? I like this kind of stuff. This is actually really into this. Like, I read all about it already, so it's really cool. Last week, the UK government announced some new standards of modern zoo practices, a set of legal minimum requirements that all zoos have to follow. I thought y'all might be interested in the changes, so I put a little summary together. I definitely missed some out, but it should give you a good idea. It's a bit of reading. I like this kind of stuff, though. In the UK, a zoo is defined by a facility that displays any wild animal defined as not normally domesticated in the UK to the public for more than 7 days in a year. Interesting. Okay. This new regulation applies to all zoos, including small and private facilities. Don't they call them? They don't really call them zoos as much out there. It's like parks, like wild parks or something like that. So I gotta read in a British accent. I do not have a good British accent. Also, Maya and Caleb probably got me sick. Wildlife parks. Okay, that's what I call them. This new regulation applies to all zoos, including small and private facilities. These are the first new standards for zoos since 2012. They'll come into effect in 2027 through 2030. I saw that, yeah. What's the definition of a gaffer? So 7 days is oddly specific. I guess to showcase an animal for a week or something. Yeah, interesting. Side note, I'm pretty sure that Alveus would count as a zoo. Yes, it would. As Clabs counts as visitors by appointment. Yeah, we'd be in the gay or not the gay area, the gray area, but probably upscale to zoo. So, gaffer is a boss, a coach. Okay, so it's a good thing. A gaffer is a good thing. I think I need a Red Bull on the second post. Changes have to be made, making the headlines. An end to touch pools. There's a new total ban on any form of public touching of vertebrates, decapods, crustaceans, and cephalopods. This is not an Alveus stance, by the way, of me clapping. It is my personal clap. So I don't like touch tanks, personally. I can't speak for Alveus. I don't like touch tanks personally. I'd be more okay with them if you washed your hands before and after. But I understand why touch tanks are important. It gets people to care a lot easier and make connections with really cool animals. So I just have heard and seen things where things are just getting this nasty water and messes with things there. So, but I don't think we should be touching animals anyway like that if they don't want to be touched. So I'm also fine with that. This is great. I really enjoyed your and Kayla's videos while you're in Alaska. Thank you so much. It was a fun time. Do not all touch tanks require you to sanitize first? No. I've never. I haven't been to a ton of touch tank facilities that do that. I've never seen them say, please wash your hands beforehand. I've seen sanitization at the end later. So I love my zoo stingrays touch tank, but yeah, there's a lot of little kiddos that should maybe not touch the animals. Yeah, there's maybe a okay, I'm definitely getting into this. But maybe there's a workaround where you're like, 12 and up, and like, I don't know, but getting young ones to touch, like the sharks, not getting them scared of them, and the stingrays, it does help. Pros and cons, but at the end of the day, I think we're getting better ways of getting people to connect. So, yeah. Do you feel something extra for us from Alaska? I did not. No extra filming. My wife would have killed me, as it is with the work that we were doing. She's like, doesn't feel like a vacation sometimes. I'm like, fair, but it was super cool. She's like, yeah, it was great. So, I swear mine used to have wash before and after. When I recently, they didn't have it either. Yeah, that's crazy. All zoos I went to as a kid made you use sanitizers before and after. Not doing that is gross for you and the animals. Yeah, I'd prefer. Sanitizer's better than nothing, but I prefer you get all your oils off your hands with a good, hand washing, and then you wash your hands and they got a little lotion for you afterwards. Like, yeah. There are 41 posts this week's corner last week weren't checked off, so you have a little more to do. And you think, oh, cool. Thanks, Fresno. Nick, could you do me a favor? Could you hand me a Red Bull out of the fridge? Thank you. I need the energy. So, yeah, I've seen folks grab fins and tails despite clearly posting signs saying not to. Yeah. Hey, I need you to put the shark back in the water so it can breathe. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, the hinge of touch pools. This is welfare-driven change, which recognizes the change in our understanding of intelligent stress. Thank you, Nick. In fish and other vertebrates. Great. Touch pools for certain non-vertebrates, reptiles, insects might still exist, but the standard requires that animals must have the choice to avoid contact and the exhibit be continually supervised. Yeah, like insects, you can do that in a different way. So, the doctor isn't doing it. Got to step up the caffeine. Yep, Dr. Pepper's not. Yeah, like I think like some reptiles and insects, like snakes and stuff like that. Like what was great with Maya and Julia the other day is like my red Noodle's like Noodle's not that interested. Let's go back. So, I think that's really cool. And allowing that. So, nice. Animal experiences. All proposed animal experience offered to the public must undergo an ethical review and welfare assessment before they commence. Zoos are now required to create an ethical committee, which must meet at least twice a year and include at least one independent member and the lead veterinary advisor. Existing experience must be regularly reviewed by the ethical committee and actively discontinue programs that don't meet ethical muster. Nice. That's cool. I think that's really important. And with Alveus, with our collabs, when the animals come out, it's by choice. So I think you've seen the stool set up and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And then they can choose not to because we can read their behavior. Insects a little bit harder. So I got to figure that one out. So Julia had one of those chaotic collabs with Active Noodle, Georgie, when he's spooked by Ace, Monkey Cheek by, oh yeah, that was. So yeah, no, I think that's cool. That's great. That should hopefully eliminate cub petting, which is definitely a no-no. That's cool. We kind of do something like that here. It's all very internal based. But I think we kind of have like internally currently have stronger, with Kayla especially, and Maya, with strong ethical rules behind animal experiences. So, improving elephant welfare. Elephant habitats must now be a minimum of 5 acres, which is approximately 10 times larger than their previous requirements. There's also explicit requirements for substrate, environmental enrichment, sheltering, and digging. I know there's some zoos that like import sand and dirt from Africa for their elephants. It's really cool to help with their hoof care. The zoo must create a long-term management plan and an individual welfare plan for each elephant, covering social structures, enrichment, and health. No routine chaining of elephants, no electrical goads, so like I guess like moats. No traditional elephant handling tools, no direct contact by public or non-veterinary staff. Great. Yeah, hoof care is very important. So elephants is an interesting thing. I think they're one of the most talked about in zoos from an enclosure perspective where people really care. My goal is to get really good at Alveus enclosure builds in the next 5 years that are both cost effective, great for the animals, and really well done, that we can kind of push the boundaries for AZA and stuff like that. And I read electrical goud, like electrical cattle prong. No, oh, okay. Huh, my bad. I know they make electrical. Never mind. I guess not moat. You're right. No electrical moats. That'd be terrible. Anyway, why do you need elephants in the UK in the first place? SSP and education, but this might discourage other places. Oop. Hold on. The boss. Chat. Maya would like to tell you something.
Chatters, hello. I'm sorry that I'm not doing show and tell. I am driving very far right now. And I'm not going to tell you where I'm going, but you'll see where I am soon.
Cool.
In like an hour.
Oh.
But thank you for submitting your show and tells. I'm sure they're wonderful, and you guys are popping off.
We're talking about the new UK laws about zoos.
What's that?
There's no more touch tanks allowed in the UK. Elephant welfare. Their enclosures have to be 10 times larger than previous required, so they need 5 acres, a minimum of 5 acres, and a lot of other stuff. There's just like a huge change. There's a you have to create an ethical panel for any animal interactions, and they have to be signed off. And there's like this whole like set of criteria. So like gets rid of cub petting and stuff like that. So animals have to have a choice to interact, which is cool.
Sick. All right, love it.
Yeah.
American X for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. American X for sure.
Yeah, like give it like 3.8 years.
Yeah.
So.
All
right. I guess I'll have to call you tomorrow because you're gonna be busy most of the rest of the day, right?
Yes.
All right. If you get a free.
I mean, you can call me. I might be able to step out. I don't know what it's called.
No, don't. It's not that. Just give me a call. Like if you're driving later this evening, just let me know. Just give me a call.
Okay.
Just cool things to update you on. Sparky Nick's helping a bunch, and want to get your opinions.
Yay.
All right. Thanks, boss.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye, Dad.
Bye. Cool. 96 all skills, no comment. All right. Sparky Nick's helping with a lot of big plans here. That's going to take some time. But like with Birds of Prey, he's kind of helping with the electrical and like adjusting some things. So it's a good thing. It's great. But back to zoos. I would like to kind of push a few things for AZA stuff. There's some very specific things I'm interested that they could improve on with enclosures, with cams, animals on display. Not necessarily like how they build things, because it's done really, really well. But I think there's more public interaction things that they can do better. I don't think we'll ever be the AZA level or need to put in crazy amount of like fake rocks for the sake of visitors feeling like they're in the enclosures, because we don't have visitors other than collabs, and it's more about the camera shots, and the animals feeling like they're in the like their natural enclosures and stuff like that. So, anyway, long story short, yo, when's the next volunteer? Oh, hello. I want to say hi to Akila. I'm not sure when the next volunteer day is. I just got back from Alaska, but I'll let you know because he's going to be working on parrots. We need some help with that. It's going to be super sick. But I don't. It's good to see you. Some less reported but significant changes. Before, zoos could only take animals out of the wild if it was legal and justified, but that was unclear and enforced poorly. It's now explicit that no animals can be taken out of the wild unless it's documented and clear rescue or for a sanctioned conservation breeding program. Yes, in all cases, zoos must perform a harm-benefit analysis and ethical review beforehand. Courtney's. Hello. Thank you so much for the year. Thank you for your post earlier too. That is wonderful. It's crazy that some place would do that. It's aquariums do that. Some. But like with like zoo or the Georgia Aquarium, their whale sharks, they got them from they caught, like, some people were catching them up and like eating them, and they bought them so they wouldn't be eaten. I can't remember where, like Thailand or somewhere out in like maybe Philippines area or something. So like that was a good kind of like work around there. You go to places where bad stuff is happening and you rescue a few individuals from those bad places, and then that puts pressure on those bad places to stop doing bad things. So, which is better than getting eaten, but yeah. So hopefully, and I don't know how significant it's been to push those bad things to stop happening to whale sharks. I suspect a lot more because it brings a lot of visibility to it. And hopefully they transition to ecotourism instead of eating. Generally, ecotourism is more profitable too. Anyway, long story short, I think it's really good. And it still allows proper conservation to happen and doesn't like hamstring people. Timbo with the 41 months. Crazy, but 41 months. Thank you so much. Before, no clear legal rules about hybridization. Now, unless part of a sanctioned breeding program, intentional hybridization is illegal, and steps should be taken to prevent accidental hybridization. It is also the zoo's responsibility to identify hybrid animals and, if possible, sterilize them before transferring them out of their care. Fair. Okay. I love that. Before, zoos were required to ensure surplus animals go to appropriate homes. Now, zoos' legal duty of care extends to the animals' future homes, ensuring that they have the facility and experience to take care of them for it to be the same standards. I feel like that should be a given, but that's great. I love that. I love that. Before, any vet could be used if they are familiar with zoo animals. Now the appointed vet must be demonstrable expert of the species or otherwise have demonstrable expert on call. Okay, that's great, because a vet's not going to always have the expert knowledge on a specific species, but the vet should be able to contact another vet. So like our current veterinarian does not do anything with fish, but has done stuff with fish in the past, has some understanding of fish, but is really good friends and was mentored under like the fish veterinarian god. And she could call him up at any minute to, figure out how to do all this with the fish. She's not going to do any like in-depth surgeries. Like we'd fly that guy in to do that if we had a fish that we were doing that on, which I don't think we will. I hope not for our budget. Yeah, she could like do basic stuff with the fish. She's always been like, don't talk to me about like, she's been nice about it. Like try to find someone else for like ungulates or like large hoofed animals. Cause like, she's like, if you guys get a giraffe, which we're not, she's like, I can't do a giraffe. Like you got to bring someone else in for that. So she could like do antibiotics, but that's it. So, love that, especially after a recent nightmare situation with a facility in Oregon. I saw that 300 plus seized So happy they're being put in places moving forward. Yeah. By the way, this is just UK. Just UK, not US. UK only for anybody that's just coming in here. New standards for UK vets. So before vets, vet care could be ad hoc with different providers. Now a lead vet service LVS must be assigned oversight of the zoo's entire animal collection. If any additional vets are used, all communication documentation must go through the lead to ensure no gaps in care. Have you guys ever seen a fish get a CT? Yep. Do you know how you anesthetize fish? It's like this special bubbler. It mixes in like a tank. Like you put, what is it? It's like a gas, like a liquid gas inside of this bubbler, and it forces it through the fish's gills and anesthetizes them. It's really cool. It's kind of crazy. So there's no before there was no specific specified requirements for frequency of the vet visits. Now frequencies of health welfare checks from the LVS is now legally defined. Large zoos weekly, medium zoos fortnightly, so every 2 weeks. Large bird parks monthly, large aquariums every 2 months, small vertebrate zoos only quarterly. I like how they broke that down. On Alveus' end, we're bringing our vet in now that we're large enough every 2 months, maybe every month for a little bit, and then every 2 months when things get like settled. And we're going to do like one big or 2 big days where we do all our annual physicals. We're going to space them out every month, every 2 months, and slowly work through the animals so they get more time with our vet. And it's not just a speed thing. So love our veterinarian. She's amazing. And animal care is like, yes, cool. Because we text her all the time. She's wonderful. We do a bunch of stuff with her. But now that she's going to come here, we're going to like set up a vet station, whatnot, a little bit better. And the animal care staff's like, yeah, we can talk to her about diets. We can go to all this stuff. Like, that's super cool. Anyway, you're going to like a lot of behind the scenes stuff we're working on right now. Apologies if it's boring. I think it's kind of cool. So other things. Before, preventative healthcare plans was a recommendation. That is crazy. This includes vaccinations, parasite controls, nutrition, diet plans, quarantines and biosecurity protocols, and necropsies, postmortems, etc. Now they are now legal requirements. Each animal must have a written vet program. That is crazy that was just a suggestion. That I'm glad they're making it a legal requirement. That is crazy. If I had a vet on call, it'd be so annoying. Our vet's so great about it. That's yeah. I love that it's a base requirement. So before zoos were required to promote public education and awareness of biodiversity, have an active and documented program. They were required. Required. Cool. Now, zoos must measure the effectiveness of its educational efforts, for example, through visitor feedback, learning outcome assessments, etc. A formal role must be created, and a named competent member of staff be responsible for educational programs. Zoos must be able to demonstrate their conservation education impact to inspectors. I love that. I love that. We're looking to we've done a study kind of on that with the university. It still hasn't come out yet. But I'm interested in doing stuff like that, like an effectiveness tool of measuring, because we reach a lot of people. But like I want to know what portion of the people that we reached is actually like doing a lot. Show and tell gives us a lot of that. So thank you guys so much. I'm interested in like maybe there's an add-on in the future. So post new camera upgrades, post fiber, post server. So give me a year and we'll get to it. So post collab survey would be sick. It would. So it's really good, especially as minimum requirement. Yeah. So a formal roles must be created and named. I could see some places just kind of do some basic stuff and fibbing some stuff. So it'd be interesting to learn more about how they keep people from loopholing this. So we'll see. Before zoos must undertake at least one conservative measurement or conservation measurement, breeding, research, species introduction, etc. Failed to maintain this would prevent renewal of their license. Interesting. Breeding, research, species introduction. I wonder if there's a hard conservation education push, if that counted. Zoos are now accountable for quality and effectiveness of these measures. They must have a written conservation policy that is evaluated annually. Failure to do this will now lead to a revocation of their license. This post was perfect for comment. It really was. I love this stuff. So, if you see volunteers walking around your local zoos with clipboards, ask about surveys. Take them, by the way. Yeah, go up to them, ask for it. So, don't make it too awkward for them. That's really nice. That is awesome. There's some other things. I can't remember what they were there now. Elephant things. Oh, I know what I was saying earlier. People love elephants. That's a megafauna people hyperfixate towards. I would love people to hyperfixate towards all animals, like even reptile enclosures. Like, let's update the standards for every animal. Like, I think most people can agree, not all, but most people can agree that animals should be in the wild. They shouldn't be in zoos. They have to be in zoos for a lot of reasons, because they can't go out to the wild spaces aren't there. But you could ask everyone at Alveus, at least, if they would rather all of our animals be out in the wild if they could. Every one of them would say yes, in a heartbeat. We wish Alveus didn't need it to exist. But if they're going to be in our care, we're going to do the best that we possibly can for them. And that's for all animals. That's why the chickens got a freaking huge upgrade. Chickens. The parrots. Oh, wait till you see the giant waterfall Lucas is building for them. There's just so much happening with the parrots. Then we're gonna do the foxes. Every enclosure is just gonna update. You see what we did with the reptile enclosures, Georgie's enclosure. How freaking amazing it is. So, Nod, how about hyperfixating on lynxes and otters? Hyperfixate on reptiles, insect enclosures. Like, let's elevate everything. If they're gonna be in, and if they can't go back in the wild, let's make their enclosure best as possible for your budget. So, leak so big it caused a waterfall. There's also a rule about not tethering birds. Yes, as their main habitat, and to have large aviaries at minimum now. So it's a good minimum requirement. Or changes so drastically about time. Yeah. The tethering. I think daytime tethering is fine, but as their main habitat, it's never sat easy with me. But yeah, I haven't had a clear opinion on it, because there's pros and cons for a bunch of things, but I would much prefer a large aviary for them to be their main habitat, which is really cool. So, weird question. Are you taking design steps so Mike still picks up parrot mumblings over the waterfall noise? All right, I don't know how big the waterfall noise is. I don't know what water features we're doing yet. That's mostly an exaggeration. But yeah, we've got some ideas for the mics and better mics. Mumbles, you'll still be able to hear them. So, Lucas, what water feature are we doing? Rain for sure, like mist for sure.
It's either mist or rain.
Mist or rain. Okay, we're still figuring out.
Rain, but
he wants rain. Let's do rain.
The rain just doesn't get clogged so easy.
Yeah, we're doing rain. Okay. And then I think we were going to do, okay, I'm leaking a little bit. We're going to do a big bowl or something, at least for better bathing, right? Yeah. Okay. You can leak more tomorrow on stream.
Yeah,
I don't think we need, I think when we get closer to finishing, before you put all the plants in,
yeah.
I think we hold off showing that completed, but oh, we need to vlog the build.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. I'll figure that out. Colton, we gotta vlog it. Sorry, I let you work, Lucas. Apologies. I'm over there. We've been down there for 2 hours today, ideating. Anyway, we haven't been vlogging. Probably not. We're still in enough of a stage that we can vlog. So, wait, Colton, are you supposed to be in here today? You could have yelled at me in person. We'll vlog it. We'll go over this with Lucas. All right. Sorry. We're on the second post. I just deep dived in it. You're editing a clap. Okay. I like when you yell at me in person. Copper bowl for bird bath would be cool for anti-pathogen. Interesting. Yeah. Less chat, more edit. It's Colton. Hey everyone, back with Elliot. This is Stop Dam. But this time I also got to take care of their garden since the owners are away for a bit. Every morning I water the garden. There are so many flies and bees. There was a butterfly this morning. Smile. I couldn't get a good picture. Also, there's a ton of birds around here. Hello? There we go. Flowers. Not as pretty, but as pretty as you, chat. Flirt. Cute. Fairy crossing. Nice. Doggo. Pretty. That's really cool, actually. I like that. It's a little good scape there. Dove. That's a cool view, too. Doggo. Hips needle cider when cold. Nice. Another birdie smile. Where's this at? Looks like California. Oh, it's pretty. Thank you so much, Dan. Makata Watershed Bird Transcription Process and Trash Haul. I have by Pure Mustache. SF, so San Francisco, right? Try to put location. Oh, it is pretty out there. I have made a lot of progress on my bird song transcriptions, going from 4 to 19 songs. Crazy. For those just seeing this project, I plan to compose a piece to raise awareness about conservation in relation to birds. Of course, I got to see a lot of nature and wildlife along the way. Also, trash haul. Very nice. Why am I getting all congested? I'm going to go blow my nose while you guys watch this. Blue heron. Okay. Oh, groundhog. Cutie. Red balloon heron. Absolutely splendid day. That is pretty. Frog. Progress on bird song transcriptions. Yeah, that's Maya might know that stuff. That's cool. I've always struggled with reading music, and I think it's really cool when people are really good at it. I love that. That's awesome. Turtle. Trash haul. Very nice. Very jealous of your musical inclined skills. Good job. Thank you for sharing. The Smoky Mountains. Yeah. Pink Fuzz Dice. My husband and I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for our honeymoon. The mountains were gorgeous, and we saw so many butterflies and rivers. No black bears, though. I'm surprised. We went to the national park. Klingman's Dome, been there. Cades Cove. You didn't see any bears in Cades Cove? They're like everywhere. As well as Ripley's Aquarium, which is actually pretty good. I've been there a few times. I saw some penguins, other creatures. Very nice. I lived in Sevierville for 3 years. It was right next to Gatlinburg. The highest point of Smoky Mountains is actually incredibly cloudy. That looks like Klingman's. Yeah. Fishies. Jelly. Penguins. That is pretty. Pretty. That is nice. Countryside during Cades Cove. Yeah. Cades Cove just, I bet it's packed with people right now. But you can drive through it, which is nice. Turkey vulture. Ellie. Finally got a turkey vultures up close in the wild in Arizona. They're amazing. They're so pretty. I know some people think they're ugly, but I think they're very pretty. Nice heraldic pose. I really like the Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg area. I like it to visit. To live in, it's okay. Cades Cove, yeah. Fun week. Ella, sorry. I've been trying to make some my weekends more worthwhile and not spend them rotting on the couch. I went to a local plant nursery and planted some flowers. Nice. I also got to go to the farmer's market every Saturday and got strawberries to make syrup for my coffee. End of the day with a walk and watching stream smile. I could eat every single one of these. That is nice. Nice. Plants. Planted bubblegum. Super Tannis. Oh, there's my dyslexia. Dracana and sweet potato vines. Nice. Took everything out to buy all. Nice. Nice walk. Getting out. Cute kitty. I love a black cat. Women. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Pollinator garden update. Chaotically me. Our pollinator is almost fully in bloom. The first photo is from 3 weeks ago. Next one is from today. It's full of bumblebees and honeybees. Nice. Okay, so that was... Whoa, that blew up. B, the focus is a little off because sometimes my phone camera doesn't want to cooperate. I feel that. Very nice. That's a cool shot. Nice. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Volunteered kennel cleanup at my local humane society. Kissing Wookiees. Another 2 weeks of volunteering at my local humane society with 151 adoptions last week. That's a lot. That's awesome. And new puppies and small dog and puppy rooms every week. I've become a elite kennel cleaner. Good job. Cutie. Twinkie's an angel who likes to sit very politely for attention. Caesar likes to sing to me while I scrub the floors. It's very Cinderella. Nice. Walker was adopted. Nice. I really like bonded with Dandy. He was a sweet little weirdo. Was also adopted last week. Love that. Another 6:30 in the morning departure selfie. Very nice. Thank you so much. And that's awesome that you become an elite kennel cleaner. Badge of honor right there. Gardening and Rescue Dogs by Permalunacy? I got that right, I think. From Canada. I was out of town for the most part past month helping my Nana and her condo get their flower beds and pollinator garden ready for the summer. Also, my aunt adopted a new rescue pup, Junie. The backyard. All right. Flower. Ooh. So much green. I love that. Repotted plant cuttings. Nice. Whoa. More flower beds. I love the purple. Found while working. Nice. Another thrifted piece from the trip. Oh, Luna. I love cats. Wildflower area. Pollinator garden. What? June and her siblings when they were found. So cute. But, like, was this just outside and they're all huddled up? That's so sad. Were they abandoned? Oh. Oop. This mouse is acting weird. Junie now. So cute. Those eyes is just like play tug of war with me for hours. So. It was in South Korea. Oh. Birding at RSPB Reserve plus peregrines. Crazy. Samara. Samara, is that right? Samara? Yeah. If I got that wrong, apologies. I recently went to RSPB Reserve and also went to the cathedral to watch a pair of breeding peregrines hunting and found some small friends. I used to be quite scared to hold insects, arachnids, but Alveus helped me see how cute a lot of them are. That is awesome. I love that. Some birding photography. Okay. A little info about the reserve. It's a natural carbon capture. Yes. That's awesome. Pretty. That is really pretty. That is a different type of pretty. And I really like the marshes and stuff like that. So, babies in progress. Beach behind the rock is currently protected for breeding little terns and ringed plovers. Nice. View of the sea. That is pretty. Sun came out a bit as I walked on the paths. RSPB is UK Society for Protected of Birds. Not sure if it's known outside of the UK. Didn't know that. I kind of knew it was like a nature society, but like I didn't know all of that. So that's cool. Little cedar spider friend. Nice. Cellar. Did I say cedar? Cedar's on the mind. Cellar. That's a cellar. Peregrine spotted. They blend so well to the cathedral. That is freaking cool. That is cool. That's a good shot. Yeah, you did have that really good telephoto lens, so makes sense. Why is this mouse doing that? It's a good looking peregrine. All feathers look good. Molting one feather here potentially. Love that. There's so many ladybugs at the harbor. I've made this little friend. Very nice. My favorite spider species is zebra jumping spider. That is cute. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, that telephoto lens will get you clicking on it. That telephoto lens will give you good shots. Love that. Benny, spring has sprung. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm finally seeing bugs constantly again. The jumping spiders have returned in full force for their mating season, and many other species are becoming active for the summer. I may have even found the first sawfly of a species seen in Wisconsin. That is cool. Covered in pollen. That's great. Whoa. Brushy-legged split wolf spider. I can't even try to say the Latin name. Named after their cedar or hair-covered first pair of legs. That's a good shot. I love a good macro. Lady beetle enjoying a flower. Oh, that's so cool. Every time I see this, like, I want a live cam like this. Female bronze jumping spider eating a march fly. Basswood leaf miner. The adults skeletalized, leaving just the veins, while the larva mine leaves, living inside of the leaves they feed on. That was so many L's. Love that. Likely gravid, female hammer-jawed jumping spider. Gravid meaning with babies. Male and female pair of wide ribbon mesh weaver interacting. That's such a sick, detailed shot. That is so cool. Whoa, blue spotted salamander. Freaking that detail. Another jumping spider. Wasp. Nice. Spider. Orb weaver, all tucked up. Receives their name due to their body shape and behavior of leaving their discarded prey in a line across the middle of their web to disguise themselves. Very nice. That's an example of the behavior from a prior hike. That is crazy cool. I didn't know that. That's so cool. White shot, not sure which style I prefer. I like both of them. I don't know which one I prefer either. Because that is cool, because you're showing the whole web and the intricacies of it. That is also very cool. This is the first sawfly of a species seen in the state on INAT. I'm unsure if Macrophia... Nope, not even try to say those. No common names. But any of the three would be a state first. That is cool. That is so cool. That's awesome. I love you're getting out there. Love the photos. Wonderful, wonderful. Gardening and new viewer, Sleepy Bunny C from Canada. I moved into a new place in the summer, or last summer. The backyard hadn't been worked on in years. I'm working on cleaning it up and planting a pollinator garden. That's awesome. Last week I adopted a 7-year-old cat from SPCA. Older cats need love too. Nice. She's been there a few weeks and needs some patience, but it's doing really well. All right, I'm just gonna go straight to the cat picture. Look how freaking cute. Fluffy black cat, so cute. She's so small but stretches out so long. So freaking cute. My before pictures in the backyard, trash, and berry garbage bags, and so many rocks. Looks like you could do a lot with it though. Bees enjoy my lawn during no mow May. Nice. So cute. Oh, so cute. Sorry, viewer. This is her trying to follow a chin. Nice. So cute. So cute. I love it. Oh my God. Volunteering. Nick Kelly. No, Philly. I haven't been on Twitch much, but I've been doing volunteer at cat shelter since I got into animal care via Alveus. That's awesome. I've been cleaning litter boxes and doing laundry and cleaning cages. When that's done, I get to cuddle with cats. Alveus has been such an amazing inspiration to me. Here are some cats. Love a good cat. Thank you so much for cuddling cats, and love to hear that Alveus is helping with that. Fly equals fly. Yes. Here's me cuddling with Papa Ben. I think this is Eureka. She knocked her water bowl off the top shelf the other day and broke it. Had to clean pieces out of her cage after SMH. Why are you doing that? I never learned this little guy's name because he's in at the end of my shift and didn't have a sign, but he's so small. Cute little orange cat. What kind of cats are these? They're so gorgeous. Who's the sisters in a foster home? They're freaking adorable. Frankie left and Abby right. Okay, there it is. Cute. Hello. Judging you in French from him from his comfy bed. He's laying in his litter box. Nice. They look like a bingo mix. Interesting. Pierre got moved into big rooms, so we got to cuddle. That's awesome. This is Squint. He's very funny and obsessed with getting stitches from me. I love that. How do you not take every freaking cat home? Yeah. Orange little tripod. Wait, he's missing a leg. I'll take good care of him. I'll build him a wheelchair. Took me a minute to figure out these three cats piled together for other names. That's so cute. I love it when our cats sleep together. Hello. And of course, this is my own baby at home, Amber. Hello, Amber. You need a boop on the nose. Boop. Can you give Amber a boop on the nose for me? Very cute. I constantly threaten to steal many cats when I volunteer at a shelter. Yeah, it'd be so hard for me. Where did you get your cat shells, Connor? Catastrophic Creations for the expensive ones, and then Built our owns from there. You can get some really nice, sleek, like reinforced, like shelf brackets on Amazon. So very cute. Birthday birding Bubbles. My birthday was May 24th. Happy belated birthday. I went to birding at Descano's Gardens. Descano's? Yes, that's right. It's cool to share a birthday with famous conservation minded from Twitch. Very true. I recorded 35 different bird species. My family gifted me a bird buddy feeder. Nice. So I can watch our local birds from a camera. Love that. Whoa. That's a nice dude. Those parrots. Red-crowned Amazons? Red-crowned Amazons, okay. Whoa. That's so cool. That's pretty. Woj. Spotted Tohi. Hello, dark-eyed Junko. I like the little foot in front there. 0F's given. Nice. Whoa, that's a lot of birds. Canada goose, not Canadian goose. Canada. American crow. Red-winged blackbirds. Little hummingbird. Red-crowned parrot. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful, Bubbles. Mostly native pollinator garden. Skizzers. Watch Poke's pollinator garden inspired me to do a pollinator garden myself. I don't have a green thumb, so I chose all native plants. My old neighbor insisted I plant 2 of her tomato plants as well. I couldn't say no, so this garden is now mostly native. You can, it's pretty close to being native. I'll share bug pics as it grows. That is awesome. This is before picture. Don't mind the tumbleweed looking things on the side. It's the remnants of invasive vine that I tore off the fence. Nice. Whoa, that's a good size. Okay, now we're getting there. Now do some research and pick plants. Local plant nursery has a set of native plants. That's awesome. Each of them are labeled with native tags. Small butterfly. This is good for pollination. Okay, that's pretty. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, these are going to be really good for pollination. I don't know much about plants. I'm learning a lot more. I'm really liking plants. And I'd be like, yeah, these are good pollinator plants. Catnip from my mom's garden. Catnip will grow like crazy. Careful. She didn't know I was planting, kept getting mad that the neighbor's cat would take the nip. Now we know why. Nice. Yeah, grows like crazy. Careful. Smells a little bit like weed too. So, not that I know what weed smells like. Sneeze weed, also from my mom's garden. Planted. I'm planning on planting annuals inside these cinder block holes. That's cool. That's a cool idea. Baby milkweed. Love that. Also growing milkweed in the house that I plan to put by the fence when they're big enough to go outside. That's awesome. Weed and catnip are in the mint family. Didn't know that. Oh, and we haven't forgotten the Uma's tomatoes that she brought from her garden. Cute. I used to be like, oh, like when I had a garden, be like, oh, I need like 6 tomato plants. This is what I had as a kid. And like I just need one. They just produce so many freaking tomatoes. Just so many rotten tomatoes. Protesting for the Endangered Species Act. Let's go. Alveus inspired me to get involved in local policy changes. The new Bill 5 in Ontario, provincial government, Canada, is putting our Endangered Species Act at risk. I have been helping to organize protests and local events to inform the community. Sign the petition. That's cool. Can I? I don't think I can comment on Canadian politics, but it's not U.S. politics. I'm gonna stay away from all politics. But we want to protect endangered species all the time. They're endangered. Let's not be dumb and kill them and protect their habitats. Because a more biodiverse world is a more stable world, and less people die, and less diseases are out there, and less damage to human infrastructure is there. It pays to protect wildlife, and it saves you on taxes. Yeah. I feel like it's a freaking no-brainer, but Ontario government has destroyed and that held Ontario Place pictured, cut down over 800 trees and remove important habitat for migratory birds to replace it with a mega spa. Interesting. The construction at Ontario Place took away coyote habitat and drove them into my dog's favorite park that become a liability for small dogs and children in the neighborhood. See? Thank you for protesting to save endangered species. And honestly, we should not be repealing stuff. We should be adding more protections in there. So I can speak on that because that is not technically political. So, mini trash haul. So, I went to a small park with my dog to pick up trash. Thought it was only a little haul. It's also a little small pollinator garden. It's very cute. Adorable. What is a pollinator garden? Nice signage. Cutie. Little trash haul. Like that's not a big trash haul. What are those? Keyboard. Weird keyboard cap. That's weird. Huh. Very nice. Thank you so much. Philadelphia Zoo, Lily. Nice. Caw-caw. Sorry. I went to the Philadelphia Zoo while visiting my twin sister. My first time there, it was hard to get good pics. It was so crowded. Crazy. There were several baby animals born recently, including Galapagos tortoise, who were the first ones ever hatched in the zoo. That's cool. The mother's almost 100 years old. Dang. Hello. Beautiful eyes. Cheetah. All right, I'm going to look at their enclosure designs here. That's a cool way to attach that like zoom mesh there on top of that post like that. Interesting. Otherwise it'd be harder to attach. It's a little bit cleaner. You could have attached it around the full pipe there. This is where I nerd out here. Sorry. But like, look at that is that TNG? No, that's just wood behind there. But that's, they should have done tongue and groove there to get rid of the gaps a little bit. A little bit more structural. Lucas turned me on to tongue and groove because you can see a little gap here. but this is still really solid. Nice looking like natural wood wall. You want to get that like in Philly maybe every 3 years. Do some Thompson's water seal on it. Looks like they paint the metal. Got some hot wire up top. I'm sorry, this is me nerding out here for a second. Apologies. Bald eagles. Nice. A little bit of 2x4 maybe, or 1x2 mesh there. We got the clips here. Good looking eagles. Got a little bit there. Nice. Little red panda. Love it. Good zoo mesh. Jeez, that's a huge ox, I guess. That's massive. Dude, you got a massive rack. Or dudette. I don't know. I don't know anything about these guys. Crazy. Giraffe. Very nice. Good enclosures. Megafauna always get really good enclosures. Oh, that's a good shot there. I've been to Philadelphia Zoo. It's really nice. She is 14 foot tall. Look at that camera. Not an axis camera. I don't know what kind of camera that is. Emu, Stompy. Hello. Oh, Zaboomafoo. What kind of lemur is that? I forget. Nice. Hello. Yeah, one gorilla. Wonderful. I was gonna go with one gorilla versus 100 people, but that's just dumb. Best picture I could get of the baby. Oh, that's so cute. Adorable. Baby tortoises. I can only see 2 of them. Dude, those shells look like fake. That's so cool. Whoa. Imagine push pops this big one day. You got like a special harness around them to be able to like transport them around. Unless you can target train them between enclosures or something like that. Freaking massive. Mom. 1932. Holy, 261 pounds. 1956. Freaking boomers. 2021, 400 pounds. Galapagos. Crazy. Good God. It's like Land Before Time. That's insane. That's when they got her. Hatch date 28. Oh my God. Lily, thank you so much. That was really cool. I love zoo posts because I get to look at all the enclosures, all the cool animals from an AZA zoo. Love it. Thank you so much. Educational side put up around local parks. Eric? Information signs that describe the importance of pollinators, trees, plants, etc. have been popping up everywhere in the parks around me. Paired with pollinator high rises, they're placing all over the place. I've often seen kids and their parents stop to read them, learn about their importance. Love that. Planta. Okay, that is not a language I speak. This planta. Oh, we got a translation. W, Eric. W. This planta has a height of 22 meters, 24 yards, 72 feet. You got me on the feet. That's huge. Has combined leaf area of 18,213 square feet. Every year it produces as much oxygen one person breathes in 290 days. That's a cool stat. Every year it reduces the water runoff during heavy downpours by 977 U.S. gallons. That's also a really cool stat. Every year it reduces the amount of pollution in the air by 3.8 pounds. Every year it stores 54 pounds of carbon dioxide. So far it's stored 11,164 pounds of carbon, which equals to 105,000 miles driven by an average car. That is a fantastic signage. That is probably the best stats that you could possibly put out there. This gives me some ideas because we're going to start doing signage around Alveus to make it a little bit more professional, But we're doing collabs, like they can, like if you, some people are visual learners and some people are auditory learners. So if we can have both, then we cover a lot more people that learn. So um, that's a cool stat to do. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Show and tell gives me so many freaking ideas. Philadelphia Zoo. Lauren, more zoo stuff. Yes, I spent the day at Philadelphia Zoo. Some friends the other day. Haven't been in years, so it was fun to see the changes since I was a kid. Highlighted the trip was seeing the newly hatched Galapagos tortoise. Cuties. Another view of them. It's funny you guys went there around the same time. Sleepy gorilla. Cutie. Hippo taking a swim. Very nice. Southern white rhino. I remember this enclosure. Because I'm like, I think it had, I can't remember if it was mixed species enclosure, but maybe this is for like keepers to run back here if they need to like be safe, or there's like gazelles or something in there and they can go in there, like pass through the bars, while the rhino can't. I always thought it was really cool. I tried to do that with Winnie with Stompy's grain. Didn't work. Winnie just smushed herself in there. Mexican red knee tarantula. Wait, that was it. That was awesome. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. Girls' Day, slay. Pictures of the park plus boutique making. First post here. This was last Sunday by Chris, 25th. A couple of girlies set up a picnic at the park and made bouquets. We'll all meet in person just the day, and it's fun to spend outside. We cleaned up after. We're responsible girlies. Nice. All the bouquets the girls made. That's fun. Very nice. Beautiful. Is that like eucalyptus or something like that? Or it starts with an E. I do like that stuff. I don't know why I've always liked that. I like it though. Teaching in progress. Nice. Some of us bought mats and snacks to share. We cleaned up after, I swear. That looks like a fun time. Eucalyptus. Yeah. Love it. Heck yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate you sharing. Visiting family, friends, work. Russia. Nice. Katya. A family friend works as a biologist. She helps a lot of conservation spread awareness here in UFA. There's also have some animals under care where she works. I just wanted to share some photos of this little guys. It was a fun visit. I hope to participate in future conservations held by her. That's awesome. I love that. It was at this moment I learned I love snakes. Awesome. And my mom learned she was scared of them. I was scared of snakes before I started with this. So before I worked at Alveus. Now I like snakes. Oh, so cute. Silly little guy. Very chill. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Best of luck with the conservation. Hello, Maya. Hi. This is my pet spider, aka Spider. Or the spider found in my room back in March, I think. Even ever since then, he has been paying rent with his cuteness. Being honest, I don't know what kind of spider he is. If anyone has a clue, I want to know. He's gets pets for crickets and bugs from the garden. Nice. Hello. I don't know my spiders. Hello. Cute. Thank you so much for sharing. Little spider, little house spider, yeah. Nice little actual friend. Spending time at spending time at the Audubon. Plus edit gifts. The edit may not work because I tried. Tom Kilink. I don't know what that is. By Jacob. Flower. Beautiful. Flower. Beautiful. To make a link. Okay. Nice. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Very pretty. Edit gifts. The edit. Oh. Well, maybe next time. United States native isopod research. Kiwi on Twitch. For the past year now, I've been working on a project to describe the neglected West Coast native isopods species from the genus Venzizillo. I've been doing tons of field work for this project. It's been a lot of fun. You can learn more about it here. Undescribed and imperative of described negligence native west coast of the United States. Cuties. Native isopods have been largely neglected. Many species have not been described or named. This is a problematic as many isopods are useful indicator species of healthy environments. In addition, native isopods are also threatened by the introduction of native species by global climate change. In this project, we set out to identify and describe multiple previous undescribed species in the western U.S. The project will support future research of this taxa. Best of luck. That is a lot of work. Where'd it go? There we go. I know I've heard a lot about how 300 hours, is that what it said? Holy crap! Freaking 300 hours. Yeah. I bet a lot of that was under a microscope. Like, I've heard what it takes to identify new species or subspecies on insects. And it's like the most detailed, grueling work. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But that's awesome that you're doing that. Undescribed species from the desert of California, probably the cutest species. We have IMO. They can be found walking around on the dunes at 100-degree Fahrenheit weather. Insane. Cute. Another undescribed species, California deserts with high elevation for cooler days. It's like it's just like slight differences. Like they all kind of look. Anonymous gifter gifted us up to Kiwi. Thanks so much. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Like there's not like that huge of a difference, you know. I mean, to a trained eye there is, but like to a regular person, not as much. Undescribed eyeless species. How can you not have eyes? As an isopod from Los Angeles area, lack of eyes in the species like they do living underground for their entire lives. They're size of a grain of sand. That's insane. That's so cool. Best of luck with that. I hope you get the funding for it. Eyeless pods, nice. It's a spod. That's funny. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Best of luck and much respect. Visiting Buttonwood Park Zoo, AZA accredited, nice, by Pretty Jumbles. Have a fun day at the zoo. Hello, cutie. That is a nice water feature. Get in that water. Get in there. Yeah. That's a good water feature. Hello, Lee? Bobcat? No. Link? Yeah. Let me look at their enclosure. So the easy thing to do with these kind of okay, so like they brought these together. It's a good way to hold that panel together. The easy thing about enclosures like this is running the wire on the inside of the post. The hard part's putting it on the outside. If you put it on the outside, then you have access to that post to a lot more perching options from it. So that's what I'm running into for bird of prey enclosure. So much easier to put everything on the inside. And then we lose like the edging to put perching on. So I guess what is hello? I just am talking. There we go. Anyway, yeah. Trying to figure that out for bird of prey. That's cool. Otters. Nice. Ottering. That's a good otter swim. Good water features. When we first walked up to the bear enclosure, the bear were away and the keepers were inside setting up an enrichment. One keeper filling some kind of applesauce in the window in front of us. That's so cool. And that glass is so clean, and to do that is amazing for visitors. And they're going to have to come back and clean that later. American black bear rummaging around the sticks and stuff. We were walked away earlier and didn't get back in time to see bear lick the window. Sad. That would be so cool. Red panda taking a big nap, and the zoo has red panda cams you can watch. Nice. Monarch Way Station. This was in April, so the plants weren't going yet, but nice sign to see. That is wonderful. Small monkey drama. The one on the left had a big handful of food, and the other monkey wanted it. I think the two on the left are Ma's night monkeys and golden-headed lion tamarins on the right. Nice. Good shot. Oh, hold on. Nick's calling me. Hey, I'm on stream doing show and tell. All right, I'll call you back. The monkeys are having access to tunnels that go through various indoor enclosures and even around the outside of the buildings, closed in cold and bad weather. That is so cool. I love that. That's so cool. It's such good enrichment. Nice. Absolutely the chillest animal we saw here, the two-toed sloth. Hello, oysterfish, aka my reflection when the screen goes dark. Bison, super chill as a sloth. Cantilever fence seems like overkill for bison. I think they were also deer in the area. Interesting. Yeah, it could be the deer, but yeah, cantilever, you don't need that for bison. Pretty sure black vultures weren't actually part of the zoo. They're just hanging out. Yep. Look at top cutie up there doing a little erotic pose. Cute. Yeah, that's an issue with like avian influenza when the birds land and stuff like that. It's a big scare for zoos because that happens in zoos a lot because there's like no predators there, free food, chill place, water, other cool animals. So, yeah. Hello, Chandler. Birding by AJ near Pennsylvania. I was birding at a quarry and found the local environmental advisory council built an area for birding out of an abandoned building in the path. They planted native plants and put out birdhouses, have little slatted windows you can look out to see the birds. That's so cool. That's such a cool idea. Bird watch. That's fun. Please not enter. I love that. AJ, thank you so much for sharing. Oh, hello, Nick. Stare. Alveus presentation for school. I did a presentation for my environmental class on a sustainable project / organization. Figured that I might as well do it on something I'm already passionate about. My professor loved it. He said that you guys are doing very important work and that he's going to check out Alveus. Huge. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's cool. You guys did that. Nina, thank you. Native plant haul plus a couple of bugs. Paula Pigeon Laker. I went to a local native plant nursery to get some new plants for the bees, butterflies, and birds. Yay, native plants. Nice. Love some native plants. That's wonderful. How far away is your guys' closest AZA Zoo? Mine's only an hour away. I think ours is like the Dallas area, so like 2.5, 3 hours. None in Austin. Hope Tree is host to giant swallowtail butterfly larvae. Nice. Had a bee watering station for the garden. Nice. Cool beetle. Pretty moth, but maybe invasive. Sad. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Gardening plus birthday Marty's by Link, Ohio. Spent some time working on my family's garden. We mostly did small planters this year for veggies, and we have some established berry bushes. Everything gets composted that our chickens turn for us and some ISOs that live in it. Love that we have fresh strawberries for my birthday. Also, happy birthday, Maya. Happy belated birthday as well. Raspberries I'll make with jam later this year. Love some good fresh raspberries. Beautiful. Very pretty. Strawberries. We're closer to the San Antonio Zoo? Probably, yeah. Strawberries. Beautiful. Peonies. Marty! Or Marty. Marty part 2. Very nice. Wonderful flowers and fruits. Thank you so much. Henry Villa Zoo. Ooh, some good zoo shots as well. Bagel. Madison. Okay. Madison, Wisconsin. It's been a beautiful day at my local zoo and got some photos, see all the animals, which makes my day. They're so cute. Orangutan. I always just call it orangutans with a G at the end. Mine's like, no. Orangutan. Black and white rufted lemur just hanging out. Beautiful. Lion napping. Gorgeous female lion. American bison. Sleeping American alligator, so cute. Not sure the species of snake. Green tree python. Carpet snake. Sure, there you go. Tortoise taking a nap. A little pancake, so cute. Emerald tree boa. Yeah, see, that's what I said. Yep. Not sure the species of bird. Night heron. Yeah. Balloon-crowned mott. I knew that one. Definitely. That's so cool, though. Beautiful. Macaw. They're so loud and scared. And they were scaring the children. Good. Scare the children. Black-crowned night heron. Okay. I called it a night heron, right? So I was pretty close. Another photo of the macaw. Beautiful. They're all evil. Tiger! Gorgeous. Love a good tiger. Looks like it's going to shed soon. Sun prints. Oh, that's fun. Antelope Island, Utah. For my art teaching practicum project, I reached out to my local state park to do an art workshop here. We did cyanotypes, aka sunprints, which is printmaking techniques using chemical treated paper and turns dark blue when exposed to sunlight. Nice. That is a cool thing to do. I like to walk tours where we teach people about ethical collection and they pick up dead plants to print. That's awesome. My example with some jewelry. That's pretty. Like the depth on it is insane. Like 3D. I had around 50 participants who all age show up. That's a lot. That's awesome. Step 1, gather material. Step 2, how do you... That's a fun diagram. Material step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. That's a nice way to break it down. Super simple. That's so cool. Some people made. Nice. That's fun. A bonus. Happy birthday fan art from Maya. That is cute. Very nice. Oh, rat. Chips vanilla. Kayla's like, let's get an opossum. And I'm like, no. Because I only live to be like 3 years old. And it's going to destroy me. And then I'm going to quit Alveus because my heart's going to be broken again. And I just can't do it. Because opossums are amazing. And they're so cuddly and personable. And they're persecuted and wrongly killed. And they don't spread rabies. And they eat a bunch of ticks. And they're great for leaving out in the wild. Opossums' lifespans are a crime. It is true. Kayla's like, but Connor, you can handle it. I'm like, no, I can't. Bronx Zoo back in March. Yay, happy things. By Emily. Hi, I'm a wildlife photographer. I can tell. Freaking beautiful. The Bronx Zoo in March. Got some pretty cool photos. I hope the Alveus team can go here because it's pretty historic and amazing AZA Zoo. We really want to go. So, the tick thing may be a myth. There's like other stuff that they do besides ticks, but they do eat ticks, no? White-fronted bee eater. Rose-crowned fruit dove. Beautiful. That's a good shot. Nicobar pigeon and mini goose-beak starlings. Golden weaver. Some sort of pigeon. Caw-caw! Nice eagle. Got a nice beak. Probably hit by a car, shot with the wing, looks a little bit wonky there. Good talons and good shape. For being in human care, it's a good color. When they're out in the wild, they get a little bit more orange to them. Snowy owl with the little cute, like little balled up talons there, tucked underneath. Chilling. It's a little hot, but it's doing good. Andean condor. Beautiful. Burrowing owl. Very nice. Little penguin eating. Gulp. A tern. An oyster catcher. Rosette spoonbill. American flamingo. Another tern. Inca tern. Nice. That does not look real. Grackle. Love a grackle. Alright. Do opossums eat ticks? Doesn't even bother me. Debunking the myths. Opossums don't eat ticks. Can I trust outdoor journals? What? Have I been lied to my whole life? Students pose a question. Researchers. What do they eat? Graph of food items found in the stomach. 32 Virginia opossums. Invertebrates, vertebrates, plants. Anthropogenics. Like trash? The AI line. I was teaching a wildlife course in college. I'm just looking for like, we read pepper really raised more questions than an answer. We drew a research plan and dove in. I applied for scientific collections. Only got meanwhile, I searched the scientific literature for results on diets of opossums. With help from our research librarians, I tracked down 23 published accounts. Presented results of diet analysis of over 1,280 opossums from across their range in the United States, and a single paper reported ticks being found in the stomachs or any of the other section of the gastrointestinal tracts. Great. We wrote up our results in Korea International Journal of Ticks and Tick-Based Diseases. Crazy there's a journal for that, but it's a journal for everything. So where do the fascinating facts about opossum eating ticks originate? This paper, the paper that started this investigation was written by scientists in New York State who was investigating the potential for various vertebrate species to harbor black-legged ticks as a species carrier of Lyme disease. They trapped 4 opossums and kenneled them in a lab where they put 100 black larvae, black ticks on individuals. Other species were undergoing the same treatment, including chipmunk squirrels, mice, bears, and catbirds. The animals were observed for 4 days. At the point, the researchers counted the ticks, had obtained the blood meal, and fell off. You may be lucky enough not to know that when a tick feeds, their body expands and they get round and rounder until they can't consume another drop, and then they drop off. Process called feeding to replenish. Unlike the kennels of the other species, the bottom of the opossums were surprisingly devoid of ticks. The opossums were set free in the woods whence they came without being combed or checked for ticks that might have been in their fur. The research included that all ticks that had dropped off in the kennel must have been eaten by the opossums. Thus was born the myth of tick-hungry marsupials. All right, well, the value of opossums. Here we go. At the end, what does it matter? What if the memes give pause to someone who might abuse opossums because they think they're ugly? After all, these species could use some good PR more than the lowly opossum. I've seen reputable places post so much about opossums and like stats about how many ticks they eat. That's crazy. The problem people being attracting possums to residents on purpose, believing the opossums will come for table scraps, but eat thousands of ticks, so they or so from their yard for dessert. You don't need wildlife scientists to know that putting out food to attract opossums might also attract raccoons, feral cats, rats, foxes, coyotes. Yep, not great. I love opossums. I do think they're cute, even though they smell like garbage. Mean. Is it true that they can not get rabies? I need to do another deep dive into this. Opossums are amazing on their own. All right, do they have a specific niche in the environment? It was a reputable study, but it had flaws logistically that were uncovered later. Yeah. They can get rabies, but they're much less likely to. Okay, I think I did know that. All right, I'll come back to that. I will... Yeah. I'll figure that out later. I do smell like garbage. Been up since 4 a.m. Oh. I really enjoyed Connor Kayla's last stream. I drew this based on the picture of the gorgeous Alaska scenery. Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm just Hannah. That's a really good picture. Nice. I love that. Oh. What? What happened? That was not the next one? Where is that one? Oh, way off. Okay. Growing veg and making press on nails. Natasha. I've been started my garden off with some established plants. I am trying not to kill, including an acre tree, hydrangea, fuchsias, and great plants that have started growing our own vegetables and herbs. I was also inspired by your press on nails to start making my own reusable ones. Also, capybara plush. That's a pretty setup. I love that so much. This is in the UK. Of course, it's the UK. I've been freaking pretty backyards. Planted some herbs and veg seeds. Radish, zucchini, various. Nice. Chili pepper, potato, pumpkins. Nice. Adorable. Recycled plushie found at local Forbidden Planet. Nice. Recycled plushie info. Eco Earth soft toys are made with approximately 16 recycled plastic bottles. Very nice. Show your press on nails. I love my press on nails. Yeah. Posh paws. Oh, that's cool. I first said press on nails. Did a cute photo shoot for it. Is there more photos? Very nice. That matches perfectly with your outfit, your ring, and your nails. Slay Queen. That's cool. Like, how do you... I don't even know how you make those. I'll have to ask Maya. But that's really cool. Nice. Nice. Matches the outfit there, too. Love it. See? I can relate to the women in nails. I've learned a lot about nails from Maya. So... See, I got this. Maya and Allison have a chance change my perspective on bugs entirely. That is awesome. There have been a lot of pincher bugs, earwigs, around my backyard lately, and tonight I found one of them made their way into my house. At first I was grossed out, but then I stopped to look up and turn out there to try divorce. So I took the little guy outside so he can continue his work. Good job. Are you familiar with resin? Yes and no. Resin is really cool. Like when they put them in the tables with woodworking. Oh, the UV resin. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, do you paint in the resin and then you UV it, then it hardens? Because that's cool. Because that takes, to do that kind of detailed work with resin that I've seen is like really hard. I wouldn't have the patience for it. It's really cool. Wildlife on the job site. Fix what the fuck. Sorry, WTF. It's a family-friendly show. My bad. I'm a contractor and often encounter local wildlife around the job site. I keep those days interesting. Nice. The nails are kind of like that, I think. That's cool. Southern toad. Beautiful. Black raxnate. Oh, he's cutie. Is he going to shed soon? Lucas, can I ask you a question? Does this mean this black rat snake's about to shed because it has the white eyes?
Yeah, it's in blue.
They turn blue? Okay. Hell yeah, I was right. Snail. Eastern cottontail. Bunny. Yard chicken. It's a lot of ants. Angel Kitty did. Very nice. Billy, thanks so much for sharing. That's awesome. Keep it up. Bye. Kia ora from New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand. By Delta. Hello. My 5-year-old daughter. Kaira? Am I saying that right? Loves Maya. Was very vocal about sharing with you our reptile photos from our visit to our local New Zealand wildlife sanctuary, where they raise rehabilitated kiwi and give the public a chance to grow a personal relationship with our native wildlife. Nice. I'm very bad. If I butchered names, I apologize. I'm very bad at reading. Skink, one of New Zealand's largest skinks, only found on even tinier groups of islands north of New Zealand. Super rare, shiny. Nice. Gecko. Our native geckos give birth to live young, almost always twins. Kiri? Kiri? Is that how you say it? Kiri? Aotearoa? Aotearoa? Is that I appreciate you guys helping me. The kiwi sleeping during our visit, but little dudes were chill, hard to tell. But these young ones were short with my pinky finger. What? That's insane. It's a good photo. Whoa. Aotearoa? Like Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie. Okay. Kyrie. There we go. Thank you. That sounds right. The highest whale and dolphin stranding rates in the world. That's crazy. So I joined nonprofit Enviro Project Johan and trained to become an on-call volunteer marine mammal medic. That is freaking cool. That is so cool. I'm so sorry has the highest whale and dolphin strandings in the world. That's crazy. Why? But that's a really cool dream job. It's also you can volunteer to do that. It's a lot of work. It's probably sad a lot of times, but when you can get them help and get them back in the water, that's probably awesome. No! Father and son, the goodest boys. I love a husky. Look at your little goofy but beautiful eyes. I love a husky so much. They're my favorite dogs. Dog breed for sure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the 9 hours. I would love to see all of your rescue work. I guess the good stuff, I should say. We'd love to see all the good stuff. So if you're doing some cool rescues and it works out, post it. I hope there's lots of posts and always works out every time. That's awesome. War claw, but there's a dash through the L. Row claw zoo visit. Where's that at? Warsaw. Oh, Polish L. Hey, first time show and tell here. I was in Wrocław recently, Polish, for a concert. Behemoth Nodders. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, rock on. Yeah, excited to visit the I'm gonna say Warsaw Zoo. It's WAZA, EAZA accredited. Was founded in 1865. Isn't that like one of the first ones out there? I enjoyed it a lot. Got to visit local Warsaw Zoo soon. Might share. Nick, did you go to Warsaw?
Yep.
Did you go to the zoo there?
No.
Why didn't you go to the zoo? I need you to learn zoo things so you can bring them back so we do better.
Warsaw was excellent town, though.
Nick has been to Warsaw. He loves it. He says top 5?
Christmas there, yeah.
His Christmas there, top 5 for him. So. Maya is off doing something else that was last minute, but something that she couldn't miss. So we're keeping this going. I know I'm a weird looking Maya. The beard's a little strange, I know. Little manatees, adorable. Cuties eating some lettuce. The flamingos. Way too dank. Nice. Zebra. Sorry, zebra. Come on. All right. Well, it's a zebra. And they go, meow. That's what they sound like. EP guy. Monitor. Nice. Dick. I love a good dick photo. Like, just send a dick photo anytime. They're wonderful. Unsolicited dick photos, welcome. All the time. Red tegu. Very nice. Bison, European bison. Cuties. Penguin enclosure. Okay. This is sick. That's a good rail. I love That's hard to do. That's hard to get this grass to stay growing in this island like this. It looks freaking new. Like, I don't know how you keep that grass there. I like the separate pools. I like their little hides here out in the day. That's a good viewing platform over there. That's for a penguin enclosure, and there's not that many penguins. With a shade, to do a shade structure in the middle, maybe, or like maybe more shade on the side, but overall, solid enclosure. Love it. Y'all donks. Cuties. Red ruse. Yeah, cute. For 13 months with the Prime, Raya 17. I think I got it there finally. More intel. It's very deep, and there's an enormous glass window underground. That is sick. Have you ever played Zoo Tycoon? Love Zoo Tycoon. Love it. Never got into Planet Zoo though. Ara. Yeah, I never got into Planet Zoo. Maybe I will one day. Another monitor. Cute. Extra thingy. That's weird. That is bizarre. Planet Zoo is much better. Yeah, there's just more detail with it, so. It was close, Connor. Thank you. Apologies for the mess up there. Comfy. That's so cute. So cute. Oop. Hello. Cool photo with a better camera. Slender Snout Crocodile version 2. Nice. You got any games on that phone? That is a Roddy Island snake neck turtle. That is so cool. Cutie. Look at you. Komodo dragon. It's a nice enclosure there for him. I love it. My personal demon, Gizmo sneezing. Wait, no, I want to see that again. I love a cat. Any new updates on Marm enclosure? It goes parrot enclosure that's getting a full revamp right now, and then fox enclosure is getting a full revamp. Marm enclosure, not a full revamp, partial revamp because it's pretty decent. It just needs more foliage and a lot more ropes and a new camera. So that's like a 2 or 3 day project. But we've got to get the parrots out of the nut house because they're loud, and my wife will kill me if we don't get them down to the parrot enclosure as soon as possible. And then I did this one. Wonderful. And then hide and seek finds the lizard. You have 5 seconds. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5. Got him. Find him. Got him. Whoa. Paleontologizing. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to Alveus. We're doing show and tell right now where you can submit wildlife conservation related things. We review it. We talk about it. Earlier we talked about the new regulation changes for the UK zoos and how they're wonderful. But normally there are animal cams up right now looking at all of our animals. We've got 30 cameras all around. And these ambassadors are these ambassadors here talk about specific conservation issues to their species or species like them, and they give a voice to wildlife that normally does not have a voice. So hang around. We're almost done with show and tell. You'll be able to see some very cute animals here soon, and we will be able to enjoy some cute chickens and marmosets, wolf dogs, foxes, parrots. Not right now, but in the future they're in our nut house. We're doing the parrot enclosure. Tree for marms. They had a banana tree. This is last post for this week. You're caught up. Oh, sweet. Marmosets had a banana tree, and they destroyed it. So, but I've got to go install some mini split for our server room. We're gonna be coming to you live tomorrow. I don't know what time, to rip the roof off the parrot enclosure and rebuild it. And we're gonna clown on how it was built. It's going to be a great time. So can't wait to see you guys there tomorrow, and we're going to have a good time. So thank you guys for the show and tell, and we'll see you next week.